All right, let me just record it. Oh my gosh, Friday Night Feel! Here we are! Woo!
We're
Welcome.
here.
Here we are, and I am so excited for tonight. I've been looking forward to it for weeks. For those of you who don't know me, I'm licensed mental health counselor Patrick Monette. And I started Friday Night Feels, when the pandemic had really taken over, and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen when I started it, but it was just a way to kind of connect with people, and it's really turned into one of the most beautiful adventures I've ever had of meeting people from all over the world and sharing their stories and getting to know them. So I'm so excited to be here for another show. And just a reminder for people, you can check it out, the replay of Friday Night Feels on the YouTube channel under my business name, Monette Counseling LLC. Or you can also see and listen to it in the podcast form on all of the different podcast platforms. So tonight, I'm so excited that I was getting lost in the conversation. I almost didn't go live, but I have the amazing Martha Mok here tonight from Australia. So welcome, Martha.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit for the audience, a little bit of your background, that Martha guides women who may have had similar experiences as she's had, being in an abusive marriage, being bullied at school since a young age, sexually molested by someone she trusted, to help them find themselves again, not only by not letting their past hold them back, but helps create super confident women. She's known as the super confident coach, international motivational speaker, multiple business owner, entrepreneur, multi-award winning international makeup artist and hairstylist, and author. She coaches in areas of life such as business, self-worth, and relationships. Her specialty is empowering new coaches to run their profitable coaching business. And by using her knowledge and personal experiences, she empowers others to improve their life situations to achieve happiness by unlocking their potential from within. With opting with different strategies to unlock their fear and barriers, she allows them to find the strength to face their challenges. And her main mission is that no women should suffer in silence. So Martha,
Thank you so much.
warm welcome to Friday Night Feels.
Thank you. It's been wonderful having a nice chat with you already.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like we could just talk for hours, and of course in Australia it's Saturday morning, said good morning, and here it's 8 o'clock Friday night. So it's
Lovely.
the amazingness of technology. So
Definitely.
so uh so many amazing things that I kind of want to come up, go over. So you might have to come back again, Martha, because we may not fit it all in one time. So you'll just have to come back. I hope that's okay.
I will be very honored. Thank you.
Now, so you focus on helping people, and as you may have known, from our brief interactions, of I specialize in trauma and working with people. So when you and I connected, and I saw
Mm.
that the work you did, I felt an instant connection of, oh my God, this is another fighter. This is someone else who's out there helping people overcome their traumas to really live the lives that they were meant to live.
Mm. Definitely, because we all have a past and we can choose how do we see that past. Do I choose it as a colorful wisdom and learning, or do I choose it to let it haunt me at the every hour of the day? That's a choice that we can make as an individual, and I'm giving the individual the tools to take control back and stop living like a zombie.
Oh, that's really powerful. And as you were saying that, I've just worked with so many people who feel like they just get on that wheel and they just can't break free from that cycle. And even when they've healed, or they've gotten out of the abusive situations or the traumatic experiences, they're stuck in that trauma and they don't know who to reach out to, how to reach out, um, and how to live a life again, and go from surviving to really living and thriving.
I totally hear you, Patrick. I was a woman that been in silence for over 30 years.
Oh my
As an
gosh.
Asian girl,
Hmm.
we've been told that we are a daughter, a sister, a wife that need to shut up and just put our head down and do our work. And that's how I was brought up. And I always know something inside of me that I'm a rebel. I keep telling people I'm like a free spirit horse that don't want to be tied down and don't
Mm,
want to be follow rules. And because of that, I was bullied a lot in my childhood,
wow.
trying to be me. And because of that, you get shaped into a certain way that you have a choice. Either you go into the darkness, which you can go and rely on substancy to get you up there, or you can rely on something like a light, a light that you don't want the other person to follow the step that you did. You don't want other people to follow the long distance that you have run before you get where you are. So that has always been my motivation, that I don't want to see another soul get hurt or feeling lost, feeling like that there's not one that will understand where they are, because I was one of them. I was so proud with my career. I think some of you have heard my potential, and I'm really proud woman in the work field. But behind that shiny mask, I was the greatest pretender. I pretended to be happy. I pretended to live an amazing life. I pretended to feel happy. And recently, there's 2 weeks ago, it was my birthday. And I look at the photo on Facebook, with Facebook giving you history of
Hmm.
photos that you have taken. Ever since I have left my ex-husband and found my ideal partner now, my smile and my pose, everything have changed.
Oh
I
my
look at the
gosh.
dates that I have done for the last, like past 12 years, but 10 years before that, I've been on Facebook. Every single birthday that I post out, either will be a Louis Vuitton bag, it will be an expensive dinner, it could be a bunch of flowers or a really pretty cake, but there was no photo of me,
Right.
because I don't even feel like that I should present myself how, because I'm happy on the outside, but I'm not on the inside.
Right.
And then the last 2 years I've been with my partner, he is just so amazing that he makes me finally smile. And
Mm,
everyone around me have noticed how my smile changed. And I look at the post that I did last year, and even he's a Navy, so he's not here during my birthday. But he
mhm.
sent me a birthday song and
Oh,
just something very simple. And it made me smile all day, all night. And simple things like that that I didn't see that was valuable before, that now I treasure the most from it. And I can see the changes in me just by allowing myself to go through that trauma therapy, allow myself to go through that depression, and learning what is the positive learning I got from it.
right.
From every trauma that we go through in life, there's always a wisdom. You may find, what, really? I give you one example, Patrick.
Right. Right.
When I was in trauma therapy earlier this year again, because I was doing really well with my business. Then my cat for 16 years died.
Oh,
And she passed away, and she was the only thing I had in my 19 years of abusive marriage. I don't have kids. So she was closest things to me to my own child. And when she died, I went into a very deep depression. What makes it worse was my ex-husband, who I did not speak to for about 2 or 3 years, he texts me and blame me for her death. And it makes the whole situation a lot worse. And it brings up so many triggers. And for 3 months into that, I was like a zombie, even that I did take little action to
mhm,
fight it back. But inside of it, something, it didn't feel right.
mhm.
Not until I studied NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. It helps to alter our. The moment in the exercise that I was doing, I went back to the first time I experienced fear. And it came up as an image of my dad using a knife and stabbed me on my hand because I did something wrong. And all I remember was blood was red and my vein was green and blue. That image in that moment, your audience may think, how could I possibly find a positive learning from that? And I did say F off when she's asked me that, what is the positive learning from that? Okay, I did. Okay, I'm very honest. I will tell you, I did say F off.
That's really good therapy when you can say that in therapy.
I was like, F off, really? You want me to find a positive learning from my dad
Right.
stabbing
Were
me?
you not
I'm
listening?
like, yeah, I'm like, you're not listening. Okay. But I did manage to find it. I did start it from, oh, he's not so bad. It was just a moment, and we got a good relationship now, and I'm a good person, and he's not a bad person. And then at the end, I said one thing that changed my life. I said, I'm in control.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that was like a lightning bolt that actually wake me up. Hey, wait a minute, Martha, I'm not in control of what happened then. That was
Mm-hmm.
a history that have already been done. I can't go back in time to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And the future have not been created yet. What I can control is my moment right now at this space, at this very moment. And if I want my future to be what I manifest as, what is in that vision board, I first must create a strong foundation on my current. So I have a letter from going from 0 to 100. A lot of people just dream about having a better future, but they did not plan what is that ladder that they need to climb up to that 100.
Mm-hmm.
So by taking control of our current moment, it gives me the time and the space to build that bridge. So I know exactly what to do the next step to get me closer to my vision, to get me closer to my goal. And from learning that, hey, you know what? We don't need to control other people.
Mm-hmm.
I only need to control myself. I need to control my thinking, my mind, and how I deal with every single day. And that's when I gain the power back because I realize by giving other people power to make me fear,
Mm-hmm.
to make me sad, they didn't do anything, they done it already. But
Mm-hmm.
I am the
And then
person
they
who
move on with their lives, and then you're bleeding out, right? You're like, you're in misery, but
exactly
they're living their life.
Exactly. They're living their life, then why not me? Isn't it?
Exactly.
Why not me? Why
Right.
can't me? And I realized that, you know what? I'm the person who gave that power away. So stop blaming him. Start looking at myself and say, what power have I given? And I'm brave enough to say to even I teach my student, be brave enough to say that I'm no longer feeding you power. I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking that control back and I'm allowed to, guess what? I am stronger and more powerful than the person who hurt me.
Right.
And I'll repeat that again. I am more powerful and stronger than the person who hurt me. So by having that and reviewing it my every single day, I feel empowered. I feel like that I'm motivated to continue to follow my step of what to do. So if that's one tip that I can share with your audience who went through trauma and desperately looking for a way out, start realizing that we are the one who give them the power to do it. And we can take that control back anytime we want. As long as we say to ourselves that we are stronger and more powerful in them than them
Right.
controlling us.
So, how would you define stronger?
I always say that it's not about going to do a bungee jump or going to jump off a high-rise building. It's about making that primitive, that little bunny steps that we take.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bunny step that we take every single day. It could be just something like, oh, okay, I'll do something different than what I did yesterday. I will try something different than what I said yesterday. Recently, I have heard a sentence. It says that if you have been criticizing your life for all this time with no actual benefit and you don't see things getting better, why not try to give yourself approval and encouragement every single day and see
Mm-hmm.
where it will take you? And I'm
Mm.
like, that is so true, isn't
Yes.
it? I'm like,
What? I have to do something? I have to change? What?
yeah, and the comfort zone is definitely a thing. A lot of women, including myself, that who went through abuse, we tend to actually fall back into the familiarity and saying and try to protect the other person and say, oh, like, I understand because I've been through similar situation. And after going through a few relationships before I found my current partner, I actually realized that what stupid thing that I was telling myself. They're not the one for me because the one that who's truly for me will accept me for who I am,
Right.
who will willing to work with me to
Right.
find an outcome because no people, two people are the same.
Right.
Definitely.
And I think
Yeah.
that's really beautiful because I think sometimes when we think of being stronger, we think it becomes about the person again. We think that we're going to change them and make them apologize and make them see the errors of the way and make them all of that, and it has nothing to do with them. It's also about, I'm going to say, it's also about forgiveness.
Yes,
For
that's
forgiving
so
them and
true.
forgiving ourselves, or it
Oh,
and breaking the cycle of, I can be free from you. It doesn't mean it's okay what you did, but I'm not going to
mm.
live being your puppet or be your prisoner anymore.
Oh, that is so true. The one sentence that truly wake me up when I went for one of a breakup after my marriage, that one hit me really, really hard. At that moment, I actually said to myself, I lost my light, my smile, and my hope.
Mm,
And I didn't know at that moment I was the one who gave it away because I gave him that control. And not until the moment I read one of a book, it says that I need to learn to forgive him. And I said, I forgive him, but I need to
ah,
learn to forgive myself.
mm,
Wow, that was a big one because I didn't know. I blame myself for everything that happened. I
mhm,
blame myself for leaving my ex-husband. I
mhm,
blame myself for not being the better girlfriend that he expected me to be. And you know what? A lot of the issues that we have in relationship is not just one person. It's actually both party.
mhm,
So by having that bravery into having open communication, by saying that what you like and what you don't like, and without offending the other people. Most importantly, is about respect. You don't yell at the other people. You actually say, okay, I need to share this view with you. You may not feel comfortable with it, but it's something that I'm thinking, so I wanted to share with you because I respect you.
mhm,
Respect is very important, and that's one thing that I learned from NLP. Respect the other people model of the world. That sentence changed my life because everyone is allowed to have their own belief and their own value system. Whatever they believe is their system, it's not your system. You do not need to take on others people's belief. You have a choice. And that freed me from being the super confident woman I am today.
right,
I used to worry about being very egotistic because of how confident I am. However, I realize now that what other people say and think is not what I can control.
right,
The only thing I
right,
can control is my intention and my purpose is pure, and my heart is just pure.
right,
So what other people like to say and do is actually not me. It's
right.
their insecurity. It's not
Projected
my
onto you.
insecurity. Yeah, and it's their insecurity. And having their insecurity, I'd love to help them if they ask for help. But if they don't ask for help, we need to respect their space as well and let them be the way they are until the moment they say, hey, I think I need to change too, then I'll accept them with their open arm. And that's one of the thing about coaching. Coaching, a lot of coaches feel like that because we, as a human, we all have a certain perception
Mhm,
that we have in life and thinking that this is the model way of doing stuff. And we can easily project our perception onto another person. And that become what I say, care and control.
mhm,
There's a very fine line between care and control.
mhm,
Like I
mhm.
use an example of our loved ones. Hey, this is really good. Please try and eat it. It's really good. Eat it. It's amazing. You must eat it. Okay?
Totally
That
done
is,
that.
isn't it? We all do that. I'm guilty of it as well. And then I realized something. I turned the care of wanting him not missing out on something and sharing my happiness as well. I turned into controlling him must follow my instruction. So can we
Oh,
see the differences?
oh, yes. Sorry, that just hit home. That hit home. I tell. Thanks, Martha. Keep going. I'll just breathe through it. I'll breathe through it.
It is so true because as a coach, we are very compassionate. We got such an empathy inside of us. But I need to start realizing what is the difference between empathy and compassion. Empathy, I need to find an explanation for it. Okay, again, it's my belief system that helped me. I'm only sharing my view and I'm not projecting that to anyone. And if anyone want to take it, feel free to. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do things. Someone actually told me what is the difference between empathy and compassion. Empathy for me now, for my own understanding only, is the way that I feel sorry about people. You hear all the time, so I'm sorry about what you're going for. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about this. I began to take on your sorrow and I began to take
Mm-hmm.
your energy away. But being compassionate is I hear you, I see you, I support you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. I don't need to pity them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need to do that. I just need to give them compassion and say, I understand what you're going for. Let me support you to go into get out of this trauma you're in right now. And I find that ever since I have put myself into a compassionate position instead of being so empathy, I feel like that I raise the other people's confidence as well. Because when we're in a victim mode, we love that attention. We love people
Mm-hmm.
like joining us into it because it's like, it's the group of empathy and
Right.
it's the group of like being
Well,
in sorrow. And
it's
it's
another
hard.
layer of the abuse. It's like
Yes.
instead of thriving, it's surviving. Like I can
Yeah,
survive
it's
on your
surviving.
pity.
Yeah, yeah, and that is also a comfort thing as well because it is nice to get the attention, especially that's what you're lacking in the first place. And
Yes.
I starting to court myself on that and say, no, I don't need other people's to pity me. I love their caring, but I don't need it. What I need is a way out. What I need is I want to find my clarity again. I want to know what is holding me back, what is my final destination, and then how to do it. A lot of people ask, how do I do something? How do I do this? How do I do that? But even I give you the whole menu, it's like you're a bus driver. Here's the map.
Mm-hmm.
But where am I going?
Right.
Am I going to Miami or Florida? I don't know because I only got a map, but I don't know where I'm going.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, I decided to go to Miami. And you start driving and the car won't move. Why is that? You got the map, you got the how
Right.
to, and you got the destination, but why you're not moving? Because there's chain behind your bumper. Of
Mm,
course it won't move. So until you unlock those chain, you're not going to be able to move forward.
right.
So I started to train my clients and train my coaches to see their clients in a different way. Instead of just giving them the how to, which a lot of people ask for, let them realize that they first must look at what is holding them back and
Mm,
what is their destination and
mm-hmm.
help them to do that first so they have a clarity into what they need to do next. Like I said, from a 0 to 100, it
Mm-hmm.
needs to have that bridge. But at least you need to know where you're going first. Are you going to Miami or are you going to Florida or Canada? I
Right.
don't know where you want to go. I
Right.
can give you a map. You got a GPS right in front of you. So what are you going to do with it? Is that I don't know because I don't know where I'm going to.
Right.
So helping your clients or helping yourself to find that clarity is very important because a lot of people say that I just wanted to be happy. How happy in what way? So ask, chunk it down even more and be very, very specific. Because with when you try to fix everything, it doesn't work. You need to fix one area at a time and one step at a time. That's when we're starting to see improvement. And another thing that I love to share with you, Patrick, and in your
Mm-hmm.
audience, is a lot of the time that when we're looking at a goal, if you ask 10 people who are motivated to achieve a goal, will say that, yes, I'm looking at a goal. My goal is to lose 10 pounds. My goal is to finish this book. But they're not realizing where their face is actually facing. Our goal is this way. But our, like, which is on the right hand side, for example, I'm
Mm-hmm.
right handed. So my
Mm-hmm.
goal is on the right hand side. But then their trouble and their past, their horror, their fear is actually on the left hand side. So when they're facing towards the goal, what they're doing is actually turning their eyes, looking at the fear and trying to
Mm,
run away from it. So it's like, I'm going to my goal. I'm going to my goal. I'm like
right.
running really fast to go to my goal. But they're not realizing that every single step they're taking, because they're looking at that fear, it makes them feel like they have chain under their feet. And every single step feels like I'm not good enough. I haven't done enough. I haven't been my best. And they beat themselves up like there's no tomorrow. But when they're starting to turn their head into looking at a goal, think of it. You're going to Disneyland tomorrow. How do you see it? Excitement. Oh my God, this is great. You're going onto a new date as someone that you haven't seen before, and you're so excited to see him. How does that feel? Oh, that adrenaline is coming out. You have That's the reason that you're not looking at your past, not looking at, oh, I'm looking at the abuse that I was having, and then I'm going on a date. Your vibration is completely different. You're looking
Right.
towards a future that is happy. So
Right.
when we consciously looking at the future and say, this is my goal. Oh my God, I love you and you are amazing. And I love myself. I'm coming over to you compared to I'm running away from this. I'm scared of you. Like stay away
Yes.
from me and trying to run away from it. I always say this sentence. When you're trying to run away from your trouble, every single step will feel like there's not enough. But
Right.
when you're facing your goal with excitement, every single step becomes an achievement
Wow.
because achievement is what makes you motivated.
Right.
A lot of people ask me, how do you stay motivated? Like, how do you stay so energetic all the time? And I'm like, it's because I'm doing what is important for me right now, this
Hmm.
current moment. Not a future that I haven't built yet. I have a little bit of idea about it, but I don't know what it will be. And all I can do is do the very best that I can at this moment. And that's my motivation. That's my why. Because if it's not current, it relies on willpower. And
Right.
we all know willpower is short-lived. Just like that
Yes.
ice cream come up
Right.
when you're going on a diet and that
Yep.
chocolate and the chips comes up, like it's very, very hard. Like, that's called willpower. So it never works for me.
Right.
I need to actually work on my current, like what
Yes.
is the thing that I currently care about? Like me and my partner at the moment have this little competition to encourage each other. He's actually on deployment. He's a Navy chef. So
Right.
he's a Navy. So he's actually on the sea. So we did this encouragement thing for each other. It's like, okay, we're both gonna lose a little bit of weight healthily. Like there's no set limit, but
Right.
who actually win will pay for the next holiday.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So yeah, so we compete with each other all the time. I said, yep, you're paying for that, you're paying for that, you're paying for that. And then, no, you're paying for that.
Right.
And that's sort of a little bit of a challenge keep us going because it keeps us in the current situation, not a future we have a hope and a common goal to go to. In fact, I already got the voucher for the actual hotel, but we're saying that no, you're gonna pay for the rest of the stuff, you're gonna pay for this. So it helps us to keep us motivated and keep it fun. And lockdown, like we're in lockdown at the moment in Sydney,
Okay.
and lockdown can cause a lot of mental issues for all of us
Yes.
because of the disconnection with other people. But by doing little games like that, it makes everyone to feel connected and
Right.
motivated. And I also just started doing something for him, with him as well. It's called the gratitude game.
Okay.
Is that we say something that we're grateful of every single night before we go to bed to each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so it's something that it doesn't have to be always be him.
Right.
I actually said I was grateful to the internet that actually allowed me to do a podcast.
Right.
I actually did say that, and I was like, I'm grateful for the new program that I bought, called the Coach Box, that helped me to put all my company information together and save me $130 a month. I'm like, great, that's amazing,
Right.
and it's like it's something that I never thought of doing, but by doing that, it made me feel like that I have enough. It made me feel
Yes.
motivated and let me feel a lot more sane. It's true because being alone in a house with a very naughty cat, that's all I have at home. And I hear some people say, "Oh, I'm in lockdown and I'm in such a small apartment and I feel bad." And I'm like, "Okay, let me tell you this. I live in a three-bedroom apartment right next to the beach. My wall, I literally can see the water, but it doesn't actually make me feel any lonely, like any more less lonely than you
Right.
guys.
Right.
So the space that we're in is not the pepper, it's what our brain is thinking. So
Right.
how do we make our brain more creative?
Right.
Um, During the time that a lot of things that when the outside matter cannot be controlled, just like COVID and lockdown, it's something that we cannot control. How about we choose to control what we can control, which is our brain, how it functions? So I got so bored during this lockdown that I opened an Instagram account for my cat called Bell Bell the Destroyer. Bell
Oh,
Bell
I
the
need
Destroyer?
this. I need this
Oh, she's the
information.
cutest. Yeah, you need to like everyone need to follow her. Her name is Bell Bell the Destroyer. She's a
About the
complete
destroyer.
destroyer.
I
Yeah,
will
she
be on
destroyed
that.
everything around the house.
Well, that was what I just want to say. One thing that's real quick of like with social media is,
Mm,
there's so much negative stuff out there that one of the things that I've
yeah.
learned from the pot from doing the show
Mm,
is connecting with people such as yourself and like all the amazing inspirational stuff that's out there. So
mm,
now instead of like, not so healthy stuff, I get like
Mm.
inspirational stuff and motivational like every day.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
I love
Because
it.
yeah, during this lockdown, I got so bored. Beside having an Instagram account for my cat, which is Bell Bell the Destroyer, I actually started something that I never done in my life. I started walking. I
Okay.
started taking a walk every single day, for about 20, 30 minutes. Or sometimes if I had a really, really busy day and I only got about 5 minutes, I still get out of my house and just do a walk up along the street because I feel like, and what did I use to keep myself motivated? I put it onto Facebook story. I put a video of the street that I'm walking every single day on Facebook story. So it will be like a 5-second video, but
Wow.
I use social media to help me accountable of that I need to do my walk every single day. And I've been doing
Mm.
that for almost 3 weeks now. And I'm so happy about it because walking and exercise is never in Martha's dictionary. Okay. But I
Well,
got
you also
so
want to win. You don't. You want.
yeah, I also want to win. That's another motivation.
Come on,
But
Martha.
it's it's like I'm really, really bored. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
so bored that I need to do something different. So I started walking and use social media to help me.
Right.
I hear a lot of the young people said that, oh, social media is designed to suck you into it and things like
Hmm.
that. I'm like, everything has a negative and a positive
Yes.
side, so just use the positive. I
Right.
use it for work a lot, like I'm on Facebook a lot about my posts and stuff. Then why not use it for gaining and benefit for you? It only take me 15 minutes a day to do my social media, and then that's it. And then we're like, oh, other people spend hours on their contents and stuff. And I'm like, just flow from the heart. Even as simple as have a wonderful day today.
Hmm.
That's a post already. You don't have to overthink when you're doing social media. When you try not to be perfect, that's when the authentic you comes out.
Hmm.
And that's why I always say to people, you do not need to be perfect to be confident. You
Right.
just need to allow yourself to be that authentic version of you.
Right. And you and I were talking about that briefly. I was mentioning to Martha that I had seen on her Instagram. I didn't know about the cat one. I'm going to have to totally look that up. But she had one of her videos, I think it's just about 3 minutes, was just so relaxing and soothing as I listened to it. And she was saying, sometimes I don't want to wear makeup. Sometimes I do. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
And I think, what I see is that you judge yourself and you compare yourself, which is another dangerous ring of falling into of the comparison game, instead of just saying, hey, this is my story, this is how I can help, let maybe you can relate.
That is so true, Patrick. I completely agree with you on that. And that's when I did the 9 day social experiment. I make sure that I didn't brush my hair properly. Wear the warm clothing, didn't have the good lighting, didn't put makeup on some. And some days I look absolutely stunning for the camera. And for the 9 days, no one actually said that my eyes was too small. No one said that my hair didn't look perfect. No one actually told me that I wasn't good enough. They're all saying that, my God, your message was amazing. I
Oh
really
wow.
started to follow you because of that. And I'm like, people, all that's fear you create in yourself about not being perfect.
Right.
Can you see now that you're the only one who created that? Yes, they will be troll outside, but what you can do with trolls and cyberbullying is, thank you for your comment. Have a wonderful day. There's a button called hidden, delete, and a block.
Yes.
Very good to use because
Yes.
they don't deserve your attention. And a lot of us tend to focus on that one or two negative comment. And then
Yes.
you feel like really anxious and worry about it. But then you forgot all the 10 million people that is supporting you.
Hmm.
Why those people who does not support you deserve your attention?
Hmm.
Our attention span is only 130 beats per second in our brain. So why don't I actually focus my 134 on things that benefit me? It's a
Right.
much better return on investment
Right.
than worrying about something that I cannot. First thing, I cannot control. Second thing is I respect their model of the world. Uh, and third thing is their insecurity is not my insecurity. They haven't
Right.
paid me to fix them. So
Right.
there you go. It's not a return on investment. So
Right.
I don't need to worry about it. And think about it. A lot of young people say, oh, I can't wear the same clothes on Instagram. Other people will know. And I'm like, Did you see Princess Kate Middleton? She constantly repeat her clothing. And
Hmm.
what comment that did she get is that she is an amazing real person. So do you want to be real or do you want to be superficial? It's
Hmm.
completely up to you.
Hmm. That's very true. So how does that tie into, you feel like, with your clients? Like if someone wanted to come and work with you, like how do you tie all of this like wisdom in to help them go onto that ladder and help their, kind of like what I was thinking too, is like their dreams to become goals to become reality.
Yeah, I always started with mindset.
Okay.
That is one of the training in both of my courses. I have one for confidence and the other one is for business. So with both of them, it all start with mindset because without the strengthening in mindset, a lot of the times that there's three boxes. If we now imagine a picture with three boxes in it, the first box on the top says belief. The second box is want on the left hand side and another box which is how to on the right hand side. So you got a triangle of boxes together. When people have a belief and a want, it become an inspiration. Just like you going into a seminar or watching a really inspirational video, you're like, oh my God, this is so great. This is so great. Wonderful, wonderful, and wonderful.
Mm.
So that inspiration will die down because there's no how to step of getting yourself better.
Right,
When
right.
people have the belief and the how to, they said, oh my God, I got this idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat cereal for the next 10 days and it will make me very skinny and lose 10 kilo. But that's not the one. I don't want to eat cereal for 10 days straight. Come
Right.
on, like it's alive. It's so boring eating that. So what it becomes an idea. It has
Yes.
nothing to it. And then other times that when you have the how to, it's like, okay, I know that by eating cereals, I will lose 10 kilo. And I have the want, I want to win that competition. So I'm going to lose the 10K. But then you don't have the belief. You don't believe yourself can do it. So what will happen? It become an action only. It has no belief in it. So as soon as you hit a roadblock, oh my God, I eat cereal for 3 days and I only lost 2 kilo, not three. Oh my God. And you're starting to break down that belief and you lose your momentum as well and the
Right,
motivation.
right.
So what is important for everyone, and in my courses, I help people to strengthen their belief and then increase their want and balance it out with how to. So they become the sweet spot that they have.
Mm.
With the sweet spot, that's when can they go into achieving their goal. And based on what goal do they want to have? I teach people in life, which is self-worth. I teach people in relationship, finding the better relationship for themselves and finding a new partner, or with their kids. That's another one that I do. I also with business training is for people who have a story, for people that who wants to become a coach but don't know what to do
Hmm.
because there's so many people outside telling you that I'm going to make you 10K in 90 days and that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I can't deal with that because if the person you give them the how to, they eat ice cream every single day, it won't work.
Right.
So there you go. Everyone needs to take a responsibility. So I help. One of the big differences between my business coaching class is that I give everything in one go. So I give a basic layer from all the pillars from your beginning stage, which is your mindset, from your starting stage is setting up your company, doing your program, to the launching space, how to launch it in the social media space, how to build up authority, how to let people know who you are, to the progressing stage, which is getting consistently coming in. I give them a complete program.
Hmm.
That way, they don't have to buy 20 programs to get what I
Right.
have.
And they have someone they can trust and get feedback from that
Exactly.
knows their progress.
Yeah, and I call it the holding hand service.
Ooh, I love
I'm
that.
the one that who's gonna hold your hand for 4 months straight. So you're not talking to a computer,
Right.
you're not talking to a video recorded program and a workbook that you have to use your motivation and do it by yourself. No, no, no,
Right.
no, no. I'm gonna hold your hand one by one that you're gonna talk to me. And I'm also going to have a groups coaching session where all the team of coaches join together. There are about 30 of us to come in and join together and support each other because we all know different things and we don't know what we don't know. So
Right.
from the experience of everyone, we collected together and give you a network and a community to fall back on. And that's what something I'm very proud of to present to other people because I know there's so many courses outside. There's so many training outside. A lot of the courses are sell in pillars, like the
Mm-hmm.
starting stage, the progressing stage, all of those
Mm-hmm.
stage. I tend to put everything together. And my students always say, oh my God, Martha, you give so much out. I say, yeah, because I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple as that. It's not because I want to make more money. It's just that because I can.
And it
Then why not?
works.
Yeah, why not? Because it
Yeah.
works for me. I'm a new coach that only started my business, what, 14 months ago?
Oh,
And if I
wow.
can make six figures within my first year, what can you guys become? So I'm not promising you guys anything.
Right.
I'm just going to promise you that you will get your first client with me, or you will get another client if you're relaunching your business with me before our contract finish. Because
Right.
if not, I'm going to work with you until you do. So
Right.
I'm not going to leave anyone behind. Not like another program that, oh, you buy it and you don't get result, you're just
Mm-hmm.
going to cry about it and complain about it. No, 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 no. I'm going to be with you. I'm not going to let you go. And you get lifetime access to my group coaching
Oh my
program.
gosh.
Whenever you want to come back and join us and have fun. We do catch up calls every now and then. No problem. It's
So,
all about building that connection.
so people from, that's a question I like to ask of. So people from all over could work with you or take your trainings. Is that how would people connect with you?
Oh, thanks to Zoom and technology that we can reach people all over the world. And it's true
Yes.
that about 70% of my clients are actually overseas. They're not in
Oh,
Australia. So I
okay.
got a lot of American client as well, which I really truly adores them, and UK as well. They're absolutely amazing, and that's the differences between us. That we realize that there's no more barriers because of our where we are sitting at now.
Right.
All we have to do is to reach out. I was someone that who was too proud, too ashamed, too scared to ask. And as soon as I start asking, oh my God, the reward, the return on investment is like tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how amazing it has been. And my journey is just about, has become about collaborating with different people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a collaboration workshop in a few weeks' time about how to actually join forces with other people and make it work. And this sort of thing is what makes it different. One person cannot give everything. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have different people that you can work together, that's when everything changed.
Right. And I think that I love that because I've seen so many people who think they have to have it all or who are afraid of collaborating because, well,
Mm,
if we're collaborating, you might take my business or I won't make as much, but it's nonsense
yeah,
because it's like if we're working together, you have specialties and gifts that are different than mine. And why not
yeah,
be able to work together as a team to help
mm,
people on all different aspects and facets of their lives? Like you have to
definitely.
eliminate that fear
Mm,
that I think controls a lot of people, especially in business. I think there's a lot of competition, a lot of
yeah.
unnecessary viciousness.
Yeah, a lot of people said that, oh my God, there's so many coaches outside. I don't know how I'm going to make a living out of it. And I'm like, how many hairdressers do you have down the street? How many bakeries do you have?
How
So
many
if they can
pharmacies?
survive, yeah, what is the difference between you? They all sell the same stuff. So
Right.
like, and being coaching, that we all are different because we are selling us. It's not just a
Yes.
program. It's not just a package. It's us. That the trainer is different, just like NLP. NLP is just a technique. It's a textbook technique. But the presenter, the trainer is the difference in it. And that's why you pay a certain amount of money for a different trainer to come in.
Right.
And for us as a coach, as a trainer, we need to see the value in us. So that's why I first work with them on their mindset, to seeing their value, to seeing what they're worth, and stop thinking too small.
Mhm.
A lot of people said, oh my God, like, I get $200 and I'm very happy.
Right.
I used to be a makeup artist that earned a really good income. And think about it that way. And if I can have people flying me all over the world to do makeup, they must be, it doesn't mean I'm a more prettiest person. It doesn't mean that I do the kick ass makeup that no one else can do. But I know I'm the most caring the person that who will make my client feel good about themselves, and I know that that is where I'm good at. So
Right.
that's what I need to focus on, and that's
Right.
what everyone has inside of them. You all have that uniqueness in it. I'm quirky, I'm weird, I'm loud, I'm happy, I'm joyful. Wonderful,
Right.
no problem. And that's what we wanted to sell. I hate selling myself as a perfect person because I'm not. I know
Right.
I'm not, and I
Right.
will never be. And guess what? I'm really happy with that because that gives me endless opportunity of succeed and improvement.
And
I
growth.
once heard a
Yeah.
child said, I once heard a 9-year-old child said that my mom told me that I have problem. And I said to the child and said, you don't have a problem. You have endless possibility of improvement.
Wow. How
And she just
profound.
like, wow. I was like, yes, because you have endless opportunity of improvement. But I can't spell this, I can't do that. No, 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 no. It just means you don't have a problem. You have endless possibility of improvement. That's all I mean. It's just the
Yes.
way that we frame things that we love those children so much, but when we love them so much, the care become control.
Hmm.
So we need to respect them as an individual, as a person, as a growing human as well. Just like my cat, she's a destroyer. She eats everything around the house, including trying to eat my laptop the other day, which don't ask me why. And
Oh,
and all you wanted, that's why she's a destroyer.
yes. Perfect name.
Oh God, because she started from Crazy Belle and then changing it into the Destroyer, and she owned that title. Okay, she owned it, and that's the thing. She's confident to own the title of being a destroyer. So you
Mom,
got a
I'm
super
listening to what
confident
you're
mom,
saying.
yeah, super confident mom, and a very confident destroyer.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, dogs, I think, love that we're home more. Cats, I think,
Yeah,
are resenting the loss of freedom. They're
yeah,
like, what are you still
exactly.
doing here? Go away. You're in my chair.
Oh, she's absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful for her because without her, I don't know how I'm going to last in this lockdown and being alone. And it makes me appreciate my partner even more.
Mhm.
When I first started this journey, we were together before the first wave of COVID hit.
Okay.
And so I always have his support in here. And this time is the first time that he's not here while I'm in a lockdown. And it had hit me a lot harder than the
Right.
other one. And it made me appreciate life more. And it made me appreciate the chance to connect with other people more. So anyone out there, despite if you're in lockdown or restriction or not, make sure that you realize that you can reach out. Reach out
Mhm.
to Patrick. Reach out to me
Right.
whenever you're bored. Okay.
Right.
Have a talk, have a genuine conversation. And it's okay. Ask us questions.
Right.
We are not about selling all the time. We really wanted to give. But of course, if you wanted to go into a lot of level, yes, I do charge you to go and do that because I do have to make a living too. I'm very
Hmm.
honest. But for the most of the part, I just love hearing from you guys. I
Yeah.
love having the connection and I love being able to help.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because a lot of counselors that I've worked with, when we're doing different things, I always try to tell my clients or people I'm working with, if you're ever struggling or if you're ever having a rough time, reach out anytime and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I remember how many counselors I've worked with or therapists who are surprised that I actually say that. They're like, well,
Mm,
what do you do? Like, I don't have time for that. It's like, then I get you're busy,
mm.
but I we're
Genuinely
in a
care.
place where it's like we need each other. Like I don't
Mm,
care what's happening. Like if
mm.
you reach out, I will reach out as fast as I can.
Exactly. Exactly. And I agree with you because we got time difference. Like,
Yes.
your midnight is literally like, my daytime.
Right.
So it happens a lot. And I sometimes that need to talk to people at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm willing to do that because I can genuinely see people needs help.
Yes.
And that's what it is. And if I can, I'll do it. If I can't, I won't
Right.
heal myself about it. We all have human, but just having that knowledge of that you are not alone, it really means a lot because when the time that I went through my breakup, I thought that I was the only one in the
Mhm.
world that experienced that. I felt so ashamed of being a divorced woman. I'm so ashamed of being someone that who been in silence for so long and didn't ask for help and everyone thought that I was fine. And I feel really embarrassed and scared and ashamed to be loud.
Right.
Once I actually find out that, hey, you know what I've been through, and that completely changed my thinking. That changed my feeling of, hey, I can't ask for help.
Mhm.
And just being able to do that, it really makes a difference. Yes, we all have our boundary as well,
Right.
but still we can help whenever we
Right.
can.
And I think that's kind of going back to what we were starting to talk about is when you've gone through a
Mm,
rough time. And I think you're really at that crossroad, like you're saying, do I go into the darkness or do I go
mm,
forward into the light and the love? I think when you've gone through rough times, when you have been alone,
yes,
and you want to do in a healthy way to support people so they don't have to go through that.
exactly. It's like that you can choose the long way of like 19 years for me to realize what I can do, or you can do it in 90 days. Simple as that. What do you choose to do now? Because
Right,
I have a way. I have a way for you right now. What do you want to do? The
right,
choice is completely up to every single one of us. And
right,
for people who need that extra space, you're allowed to. That's why that we have the compassion to see your needs as well. We
yes.
don't just pity you and say, I'm so sorry. No, I don't do that. I actually give you the compassion and the space and the encouragement. Hey, and that's how I feel.
Yeah, and that's just sorry, my internet's a little wonky tonight. I
That's okay.
apologize for any hiccups. And I think that's really powerful, like the compassion of because when you're doing it in through the lens of compassion, you see
Yeah.
through the trauma and you
Yes.
see the beauty of who the
Yeah.
person is and can be. And I think that's
I
such a
agree.
gift.
I completely agree with you. And we all have a gift. We all do. We all have something that we excel on. And I always encourage people to stop focusing on things that they're not good at, but focus on the things they excel in. There's this book by a Japanese monk, and they actually said that if you focus on what you excel in, your return on investment is over 300%.
Oh
But
wow.
if you focus on what you're not good at, your return on investment is only 30 to 40%. So
Wow.
that's
And that's
exactly what I do.
statistics. You can't
It is
fight math.
statistic. You can't fight it. It is science. And think about it. For myself, I know that my strength is confident. And
Right.
I'm terrible at written English. I'm terrible with technology. So I'm terrible with a lot of other stuff. But one thing that I know I have is confidence. So I choose that path of excelling where my confidence is. And look at where I become. And all the other things that you thought you're not good at, it will come into you eventually. Just like I didn't realize that I could write books. I'm on to my sixth books now.
Oh my
I'm like
gosh.
six books
What?
into it. Yeah. I never
Congratulations.
thought that I could do that, but you know what? I did at the end, and that wasn't something of my focus. I was just so focusing on my confidence. And then with technology, guess what? I built up my first funnel by myself, like using this new program called the Coachbox. It was so easy to use. I like, oh my God, it's like the best thing. And you will improve on the area that you're not good at once you excel in the area you're really good at.
Right.
So that's something that I wanted to let people know. Don't focus on what you're not good at because that doesn't give you any encouragement or any motivation, but focus on what you're really good at and all the other things we're starting to help you and come up as well.
Right. So if people wanted to work with you or find information about your books or your amazing classes, how would they do that, Martha?
Feel free to contact me on Super Confident Coaching or search on Google under Super Confident Coach. I'm the first one it comes out. Search my name, Martha Mok. You will find a way to find me. I will give Patrick my link of Linktree, which have all my Facebook channel, uh, all my YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel as well that I haven't really used, but yeah, linking all of that, you will be able to find me under Martha Mok or Super Confident Coach.
All
And
right.
anyone who contact me, I'm going to give you guys a gift. You contact me, I'm going to give you one of my ebooks for
Ooh,
free,
I
and I'm
love
also going to
gifts.
give you an empowerment. I know, me too. So I'm going to also give everyone an empowerment session. It's a session that where you can vomit all your things to me, and I will receive with a bucket, and I'm going to help you to sort it out. so you feel better at the end of the day. It's not about me selling at all. It's about me listening to you and supporting you.
Oh my God, I love this. And so if anyone too, I'll post this, all of her information too. And if you look on my Instagram, I'm following her on her Instagram. So you can just check. That's what I like about Instagram. It's really easy to see who you're following. So it's really
Yeah.
nice to be able to contact people. Now, before we end, I have a random question that has nothing to do with coaching, if that's okay.
Mhm. Of
Okay.
course.
What I've never been to Australia. I
Mhm.
really would love to visit one day. What is it like there? Like, I know that sounds like an ignorant question, but
No, it's
it
not.
just always looks so beautiful and
It is.
amazing.
It is, it is, it is. People in here are very carefree. We are a lot more relaxed. We are less hoo-hoo. We are a lot more like, yeah, let's have a good day. It's a beautiful day on the beach. Let's go out to the beach. And that's what Aussie is.
Okay,
Aussie is someone that who's very caring, very kind, very open to help other people. And I'm so grateful for my parents. I come from Hong Kong myself.
okay.
So I've been a Chinese, and I'm so grateful for them to give up their life to come over to Australia when I was 10 years old. So it gave me a really, really good life here. I've been here 33 years now, and I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful, amazing place. Please, if you come to Australia, come and visit Sydney, which is one of the biggest nation in Australia. And we love having you here, and it is a beautiful world.
Oh, I definitely, well, once things calm down a little bit, we'll
I
definitely,
know.
and then we could do like a show like live from
Oh,
Sydney.
definitely. That's what I love to go to America. America was actually my next dream places to go to. Then COVID
Okay.
hit. So
Well,
once
listen, if you
everything
ever
is
come to New
settled, then
York,
we're going.
I'm in
Oh,
northern New York,
that's
but
one place I wanted to do
I
it.
can represent New York and Vermont, and I'm an hour north of Montreal. So if you like
Oh,
Canada,
lovely.
and Canada's so beautiful as well. There's a lot of amazing places.
Oh, amazing. That's why I wanted to travel. That's my goal. And that's one of the good thing about being a coach. You are COVID free because you're working on an online space. Secondly, you live what we call a laptop lifestyle. You
Hmm.
just need to take your laptop, you have internet, and you can work.
Yes, I love it. Now,
Mhm.
before we end today, I have one final question for you.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you would like the audience who are either watching or listening walk away with tonight?
Be sure that you do not need to be perfect to be confident.
Mhm.
Confidence is all inside of us. You just need to find a way to dig them out. And it's not about jumping off a building. It's not about doing a bungee jump. It's about making that 3 millimeter shift, that bunny step that you take every single day. Just like a bunny, you hop onto your dream a little bit further, a little bit further. And if you need a pathway, do not be afraid to reach out because that's why we're here for.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much, Martha, our super
Thank
confident
you, Patrick.
confidence coach, for joining us. And thank you for everyone who's watching Friday Night Feels. And I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take
Thank
care.
you so much.